Verse 24. Therefore saith the Most High of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, okay? Who is Israel? The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent only, right? The mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of my adversaries and avenge me of my enemies, meaning that he's going to let off his enemies and his adversaries, right? Who is his enemies and the adversaries? The ones who hates him, the one who don't believe in him. They don't believe in these scriptures, right? They don't believe in keeping the laws, statutes, the commandments of the Most High. Now, ultimately, this is speaking about the other nations, the ones who don't believe in the Most High, right? You know, those are our oppressors, the haters of his people, his chosen people, the ones treating his people here on earth very badly, right? I will ease me of my adversaries and avenge me of my enemies. All right. Verse 25. And I will turn my hand upon thee. Okay. Who's the thee? He's talking about the children of Israel, right? Because of their sins, right? And purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy tin. Okay. So this is what the Most High is going to do. He's going to strip us of our riches, man, our natural resources, our homeland, because we choose to live a life full of sin. We don't choose to keep his ways willingly, right? Verse 26. And I will restore thy judges as the first. Okay, so we were the original judges of the earth, man. We was judging the people who were in sin, not only our people, but the other nations as well, right? And thy counselors at the beginning, afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Okay, this is what's going to happen after the Most High take away the so-called 2/3, man. The willful sinners, the one who choose not to keep the ways of the Most High, who choose not to keep the ordinances, right? Who choose not to judge their people in righteousness, right? They like to live by the philosophy, oh, just live and let live, right? As long as it's not harming me physically, they can do whatever they want to do, right? At least that's what they believe. But little do they know, man, their sins is going to trickle down into your household, and it's going to affect your household eventually, right? Just like this so-called plague that's going around now, right? Before they said that it wasn't contagious. Now it's contagious. Now it's up to like 8,000 people infected and growing increasingly, right? So this is what's going on, man. For all of these people who like to say, oh, don't worry about it, you know, just continue to do your own thing. But we're going to see how it's going to be in the month of September and October, man, right? It's going to be crazy, especially when the children go back to school, right? So everything trickles down into your household, no matter what, man. This is why you got to come back to the Most High, and you got to serve him so he can cover you in these perilous times, man, right? So you can be under his wing. He's going to give the angels charge over you to keep you, right? Verse 27. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment and uncovered with righteousness, right? So that's letting you know who the Most High is coming to save and redeem, man, which is Zion, also known as the children of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Seminole Indians of Negroid descent only, the hopeful 1/3 elect, right? Let's go to the book of St. Matthew, chapter 9. And once again, this is your brother Yahweh Yasharal from the sea souls of Israel, the rocks of offense, and also the ambassadors for righteousness, the restorers of paths, and the repairers of the breach, and the advocates for Christ. Once again, dropping you another video. We're going to the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, and I'm going to start at verse 9, and it reads, or what man is there of you, whom, if his son asks bread, will give him a stone? Okay, so this could be literally or it could be metaphorically, right? So if your son is asking for food, which is bread, why would you give him a rock? Why would you give him a stone, right? Or if you want to think of it in a spiritual sense, if your son is asking for the bread, which is the bread of life, which is this truth, these scriptures, Why would you give him a stone? Okay. Why would you give him the Kaaba stone to worship? Why would you give him an idol, a rock idol, which is a pebble, in which most of our people be worshiping, man? They be saying, oh, this pebble is for protection. Oh, this pebble is to draw evil spirits away, right? Oh, this pebble is for good luck. Oh, this pebble right here, it can bring you money, right? So that's a stone, man. You know, eventually it's talking about the Kaaba stone and the cube stone, which is cube worship, right? So why would you give your son idolatry, right? Or literally, why would you give him a rock to eat in which he's asking for bread? He's asking for food, right? Verse 10. Or if he asks a fish, will he be give him a serpent? Okay, so why would you give your son a serpent? Okay, if he's asking for fish, which is something which is beneficial to the body, why would you give him something abominable, right? Verse 10 again, right? Or if he asks a fish, will he give him a serpent? Verse 11. If he then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father, which is the Most High God, right, which is in Shamayim, which is heaven, give good things to them that ask him. Okay, so if you're not even treating your own children good, let alone your own people of your nation, you're not rehearsing the righteous acts. How do you expect the Most High to do good things for you, man, and reward you and give you good things? Okay, verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Okay, so that's what hang over all of the law, which is love, right? You gotta have brotherly love. You gotta have sisterly love. You can't have malice in your heart for your own people without cause, man. You can't hate your own people. You can't be jealous of your own people, envy your own people without cause, right? This is because you have hate in your heart, man. This is because you're jealous, man, right? But the Most High, even through Christ himself right here, which is written in red letter in the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, he wants you to rehearse the righteous acts, man, as it says here again. Verse 12, therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets, man, right? Verse 13, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way, okay? Broad is the way, meaning the vain philosophies and ideologies and religions of the world, man. That's a broad way, right? That leadeth to what? Destruction. For many there be which go in thereat. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of our people into Islam. You're going to have a lot of our people practicing witchcraft, right? You're going to have a lot of our people into Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, right? A lot of our people is in secret societies, fraternities, and sororities, right? They worship in Lucifer himself, right? They becoming agnostic atheists, right? So this is why Christ says this here, man. And many there be which go in at, verse 14, because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth to light, and few there be that find it. Okay, who's the few? That's the hopeful 1/3 elect, the ones who's keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, right? Verse 15, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are raven wolves. Okay. Verse 16, ye shall know them by their fruits. Who's the them? Okay, that's talking about the false prophets. Also, this could be talking about parents. Okay, do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Verse 17, even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Okay, so if you're a corrupt person or a corrupt parent, your fruits is going to be corrupt, right? Your philosophy is going to be corrupt, right? Your beliefs is going to be corrupt. Your children is going to be corrupt because you're going to teach your children whatever you know, whatever you desire to teach, right? Verse 18, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So if you're a corrupt parent, you can't bring forth good fruits. You can't have good children because you're going to teach all of your children wickedness. But if you're a righteous parent, then more than likely your children is going to be righteous, right? It's like the scripture says, raise up a child in the way they should go, not in the way that you want them to go, but in the way that they should go, how the way they should go, keeping the laws, statutes, the commandments of the Most High, right? Verse 19, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire, which is the judgment, right? Verse 20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Okay, so more than likely, if you have bad kids, so to speak, right? Disobedient kids, disrespectful kids, then more than likely the parent is that way, right? The parent is wicked as hell, right? Let's go to the book of James, chapter 1. I'm trying to speed this up a little bit here, because I know my phone battery is about to go out. Hopefully that this video is edifying and enjoyable thus far for the people, And once again, the title of this video is what makes you live or do the things that you do. Did Satan make you do it? Did the devil make you do it? Or was you driven by your own lust and desire, right? So once again, we're in the book of James, chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 12, and it reads, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Most High hath promised to them that love him. Of the Most High, you're going to be keeping his laws, statutes, commandments, right? So that's how you're blessed, right? You're not blessed because you have a big house, a nice car, a new car, you got a big bankroll or whatever, right? You got all of the finest clothes or whatever, right? All of the hottest trends, right? That's not when you're blessed, man. You're blessed because you fear the Most High. You're keeping the Most High's ways, and you're enduring temptation, right? When sin comes your way, you're not going to willfully sin and then try to blame it on Satan and the devil after you sin, right? Verse 13, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For the Most High power cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth any man, all right? Verse 14, by every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his what? His own lust and enticed. Verse 15, then when lust hath conceived, it bring forth what? Sin. The sin, the transgression of the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, right? And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Okay, so this, like I said before, that's not to say that lust and desire itself is sin, but it brings forth sin if you overindulge in it, right? Verse 16, do not err, my beloved brethren and sister, okay, meaning do not err off keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Don't leave off the straight and narrow path, right? Now, that's not to say, go somewhere and be a boring person or whatever, go be a hermit and live up in your house or whatever, put yourself in a bubble and shield yourself from the world. That's not to say that. That's simply to say just keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Other than that, you can do what you want to do. If you want to go to movies, if you want to go to an amusement park, you want to go to the beach, you want to take a trip somewhere, even though I wouldn't advise it right now because of what's going around. But if you wanted to do those things, you can do it. If you want to throw your little backyard barbecue, whatever, invite a few people over, more than likely, hopefully someone that's like-minded of you, of the same faith, then it's all good. You can do that, man. But the main objective is to keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, man, right? Let's go to verse 21, still in the book of chapter 1 in James, right? Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity and naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. Okay, what is the engrafted word? It's these scriptures here, man, right? Verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, okay? Be doers of the word, man, and not hearers only, okay? Like your so-called religious churchgoers, right? Deceiving your own selves, okay? Telling you that we're in for everlasting grace. We can do whatever we want to do. We can live however we want. We can eat wherever we want, right? You don't have to keep the commandments of the Most High, right? So this is how you deceive your own self, man, right? Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was, meaning that you're going to become a lover of self. You're going to become a selfish person. You're not going to be a giver. You're not going to be giving your tithes, so to speak, in which is caring for those who's less fortunate, right? Giving to those who's in need, that's godly, right? So that's what you're going to be. You're going to forget what manner of man you was, which was supposedly a righteous man. You're supposed to be the man keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High if you're of the nation of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. Okay, so if you're always beholding yourself in the mirror, especially if you're muscle bound, right? You're looking at your chest, you're looking at your arms, you're looking at your neck muscles or whatever. You're going to become a lover of yourself, and then the next thing you know, it's going to trickle down into becoming selfish, and then you're not going to be caring about other people's needs, man, right? Verse 25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be what? Blessed in his deed. Okay, so that's how you be blessed, man, by keeping the laws, statutes, the commandments of the Most High, right? And then you will be blessed in your deed, okay? Instead of using self-projectory, which is described here in verse 24, when you beholding yourself, right? And then you forget that you was supposedly of the Israelites, all right? Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious, and brideth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, okay, say, oh, Satan made me do it, the devil made me do it, he made me sin, I didn't mean to sin. I was forced to do it, right? If any man among you seem to be religious and brideth not his tongue, meaning that he use vulgar language all the time, right? You're supposed to be a righteous man or woman, but you still using vulgar, disrespectful language, right? But deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain, meaning his faith and his belief is vain, right? Verse 27, pure religion and undefiled before the Most High power and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself what? Unspotted from the world, okay? So this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be keeping yourself unspotted from the world, meaning that you're not supposed to be following the vain false philosophies and ideologies of the world, saying that Satan and the devil made you sin. That's because you was caught red-handed in your sin, man, right? Let's go to chapter 3 in the book of James. And I'm going to start at verse 10. And it reads, out of the same mouth proceedeth blessings and cursings. My brethren, these things ought not to be. Verse 11. Doth a fountain send forth the same place sweet water and bitter? Verse 12. Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt and fresh water, meaning that if you're a negative, vain person, then you're not going to give that fresh water, which is the word, okay? You're going to give vain, false philosophies and ideologies of the world, so to speak, right? Verse 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him shew out of a good conversation his works with meekness and wisdom. Verse 14. But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. Okay, verse 15. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and what? Devilish. Verse 16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every what? Evil work. Verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure and then peaceable. All right, peaceable, gentle and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partially and without what hypocrisy. Okay. Verse 18. And the fruit of the righteousness is sown in the peace of them that make peace, the ones who's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, the hopeful 1/3 elect, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and end that there. I don't want this battery to cut off. All right. So hopefully, once again, this video was edifying. Hopefully that it was enjoyable. This is your brother Yahweh Yasharah from the Sea Souls of Israel, the Rocks of Offense, and also the ambassadors for righteousness, the restorers of paths, and the repairers of the breach, and the advocates for Christ, dropping you another video. Until the next time, I say, peace out, shalom.